Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Question from my buddy Rick Headley. Marketing or must have? Stay tuned. All right, guys. So my buddy Rick writes, I am 65 years old, still very active and pretty athletic. Rick, 65 is the new 50, man. You should still be running around. I learned with a wood racket as a youngster, just like me. And in high school, I thought I had to have the T2000. Well, we all did because of Jimmy Connors, which was one of the worst moves of my tennis career. Oh, in college, I played with Prince Graphite 2 oversize, good choice, which I think is a 107 square inch. Yes, it was. I later acquired a pair of Head Radical Bumblebee rackets, also 107. That's correct. Agassi made that pretty famous. I still have all these rackets and they are in great shape. I last played in 2005. Whoa. And am looking to start up again. I'm wondering whether to string up my old sticks or if there is substantial benefit to buying something current. I also play golf and noticed that I can buy this year's hot club, but next year that same club is no longer hot and now trash, and you can buy it the new stuff. In other words, it's all about selling golf clubs. That is correct. In tennis, the same way. Or is there actually that much technological advancement? Obviously, strings have come a long way, and I feel that they are probably the key, no matter which frame you put them in, within reason. Your thoughts? By the way, I tremendously enjoy your videos. I like the way you present your information, so keep up the good work. Well, thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. Okay, so if anybody plays golf out there, you would know what Rick is talking about. So this year's hot driver, right? Whatever they are, like 550 cc's, that big fat head, you know, with the, I don't even know what the technological advances are, but titanium was huge at one time. It's something else now. You know, those things can go upwards of about $500-600, right? But when the year is over and the new big deal is out, that thing's like $250 or less. You know, as time goes by, that $500 driver starts to just decline. You know, every year it drops another $50 or $100. In 3 years down the road, that thing's probably like $199 or $100 if you're lucky. So is that the same though with tennis rackets? Not quite. But let's address Rick's 16-year-old racket first though. So he's got a couple Bumblebees, the 107s, which Head doesn't make anymore. Those Head Radical oversizes were stopped being made about, I want to say about 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So those are rare. Now, would you take that racket and compare it to something new today? And would it be just as good? So just going through my mind, I would probably, the modern day version of that racket would kind of be like a Wilson Blade 104. If you're a little older now, it would be a Pure Drive 107. That would be kind of the modern day version of it. Would you get anything more out of it though? I want to say if you're going to go for a Blade 104, probably not. If you go for a Pure Drive 107, definitely lighter, balance is a little easier, swing will be a little easier. So aside from that Serena 104 and having to go into like a Pure Drive 107, the modern day version of that Bumblebee is actually a Dunlop CX 200 oversize. So they still do make a racket just like that Bumblebee, but made by Dunlop. So it still exists, barely though. Is it worth it though? I mean, we're talking about 16 years later. My suggestion to you, Rick, is try to string it up. Obviously, it needs a new grip. String it up with, I would say, just go with a synthetic for now, like a Gamma Professional Spin, 55 pounds, and kind of see how you like it. You know, see how long you if it's too heavy for you, because that racket, from what I remember, isn't horribly heavy, but definitely balanced towards the head. Because I still string a bunch of those today, because I know this guy who uses a bunch of those still. So if it's too heavy and you can't wield it as easy as you think you want to, like, get a Pure Drive 107. That would probably be the modern day version, or a Pure Drive 110 if you want to make your life a little easier. Okay, so that's my suggestion to you, Rick. Now, is it marketing or must have? I mean, in the 16 years since that Bumblebee was on the market, have rackets changed? Yes, they have. I mean, that racket was like a player stick that was oversized. There aren't many, if at all, player sticks now that are oversized. I mean, aside from the Serena 104 that comes to mind, there aren't many rackets that are thin and big anymore with any kind of heft. As they get bigger, they get lighter. So for the player from back 20 years ago, where everything was oversized and thin, that technology and that movement is now gone. You would, if you're like high caliber player, you're probably going to use a 98 nowadays, maybe 100 max. So it has changed. Now, to address marketing though, when that Bumblebee was out, Andre was the face of that Bumblebee. So Andre Agassi was the face. Now today, I mean, we know Fed, right? That's a heavy racket. We know Nadal. Pretty much anybody can play with that, that banana arrow yellow. So that would work. And obviously that's marketing. You can try that. And Djokovic, the speed. So a lot of it is marketing though, guys. They're paying those three guys a lot of money to sell those rackets, and they do a damn good job of it. When those rackets go out of line though, they usually hold price pretty well, and they usually sell out before it drops too extensively. So marketing or must have, it depends on you. If you need a new racket and you're inspired by Fed, if you're that good, get the heavy. If you're not, get the lighter one. Or get the light if you're on the younger, slighter side. Okay? So, Rick, I hope that answered your question. But is it marketing or do you must have it? Well, that's kind of you decide. You kind of have to decide whether it's a want or a need. I mean, for most people in tennis, nobody really needs anything. You just want it because it's a new toy. That's just how it works. All right, guys, you want to support the channel? Buy Me a Coffee is the network /tennis spin. Link is below. Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.